stage 4 breast cancer that spread into my bones.
Shannen Doherty says she wants to embrace life as her cancer has spread to her bones. My greatest memory is yet to come, the 52-year-old actress states. After announcing the cancer had spread to her bones,
The confirmation that I had cancer.
Doherty tries, like always, to make light of the situation, saying, "I think of it as like the Pac-Man video game, where they kind of start to go into your bones." She just told People in a video interview that accompanies her new cover story for the magazine. The Beverly Hills 90210 star opened up in People's cover story about her stage 4 cancer diagnosis and how she hopes to inspire others by focusing on her future and not choose to look at this diagnosis as the ending, but the beginning. "I don't want to die," she asserts 4 days before Thanksgiving while doing a Los Angeles cover shoot for People magazine. Doherty is characteristically upbeat as she opens up about her stage 4 breast cancer that has now spread to her bones.
I have stage 4, so my cancer came back.
While continuing to receive treatment, the 52-year-old is more determined than ever to keep moving forward. "I'm not done with living. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with creating. I'm not done with hopefully changing things for the better," she says, while cracking a smile. I'm not done." Her 8-year journey with cancer has opened her eyes to the bigger pictures in life. She explores these in her memoir-style podcast, Let's Be Clear, that premiered on December 6th on iHeartRadio. Doherty discusses everything from her career, her past relationships, to the numerous stages of her illness and health regimens. She even covered a segment with her Charmed co-star Holly Marie Combs about the on-set drama that unfolded from the end of season 1 to her departure at the end of season 3. A tension that plagued a huge part of her life. After her fight to stay in the show she loved a few years later, she began a new fight, one on a different level of survival. Learning you have cancer is something no one ever wishes to hear, and it was no different for the young actress. After her initial breast cancer diagnosis in 2015 that she first shared with People,
"It was so weird for me to be diagnosed, and then
Doherty had a mastectomy and underwent chemotherapy and radiation. In April 2017, she revealed on Instagram she went into remission. But by 2019, the cancer returned, and she announced her diagnosis of metastatic stage 4 cancer the following year. When you ask yourself, why me? Why did I get cancer? And then, why did my cancer come back? Why am I stage 4? That leads you to look for the bigger purpose in life, she explains. Unlike many who may cripple from the diagnosis, Doherty chooses only to become stronger because of it, not letting the treatments bring her down or stop her from living or fighting to live. Instead, she wants to make every moment worth it, and she feels the best in her life is still yet to come, and she doesn't plan on missing a moment of it. Doherty's hope is to raise funds to further cancer research and to bring awareness to the disease, while also showing that people with terminal cancer still have plenty to contribute to the world. "It's insane to me that we still don't have a cure," she says. Doherty shared on Instagram back in June that the cancer had spread to her brain, and she had had surgery 5 months earlier to remove a brain tumor. With dark humor, she states she named the tumor Bob. "He had to get removed and dissected to see his pathology," she explains. "It was definitely one of the scariest things I've ever been through in my entire life." She not only chooses to fight her illness looking for the bright things in life, but she does her best to smile and laugh and make every moment count, not only for herself and those around her who love her, but also for the world, putting all the energy she can into a hope that one day a cure will be found and that this disease that claims so many lives will come to an end. Each morning, the actress feels grateful for another day with her friends, her family, and her German Shepherd Bowie. "My greatest memory is yet to come," she says. "I pray, I wake up and go to bed thanking God, praying for the things that matter to me without asking for too much. It connects me to a higher power and spirituality. My faith is my mantra." Her belief and faith in God is what continues to fuel the actress to push on each day, knowing that only God gives you what you can handle, and knowing everyone has their own journey and that this is hers for a reason. She refuses to see the bad in her suffering. Doherty continues to undergo treatment and seek clinical trials to join, and wants to dispel the idea that she's helpless. People don't know a lot about cancer. I think they sort of assume it means you can't walk, you can't eat, you can't work. They put you out to pasture at a very early age. You're done, you're retired. And we're not, she told the magazine. Doherty stated, "When you have cancer, everything is more poignant, and the sky seems bluer. I know it sounds cheesy and crazy, but you're just more aware of everything, and you feel so blessed. We're the people who want to work the most because we're just so grateful for every second, every hour, every day we get to be here." Though staying as strong, happy, and positive as she can, no one can face the thought of death without some tears, fear, and breakdowns. "I have a lot of moments where I tend to be the person who cries in the closet by themselves, basically," she said during Let's Be Clear with Shannen Doherty, which features a conversation between Doherty and her friend Chris Cortazzo. "We all have breakdowns, but we're in a closet, hiding, having our breakdowns," Doherty said. "Listen, I do complain," Doherty said during the podcast episode. "I just don't complain in front of people." Doherty shared insight into how she works to gain perspective on her battle with breast cancer.
Ridiculously strong, courageous human being.
"I 100% have those moments where I feel all of it, and I wish for something different," Doherty said, discussing her tendency to appear strong in public. "But then I always have to look at the other side of it and go, well then, what else would you be dealing with? And would it be as impactful and would it be as meaningful as this?" said the 52-year-old actress. Doherty also focused on her battle for survival. "Obviously, my biggest thing is I just don't want to die too soon, because I have a lot to accomplish," she said. Doherty said her list of goals ranges from raising money for cancer to changing the animal slaughter laws in the United States. The Memphis-born star also discussed the atmosphere she would like for her funeral, describing it as a love fest and saying she would prefer it be attended by people who like her rather than those who will attend because it's the politically correct thing to do. The Little House on the Prairie actress also said her relationship with Cortazzo, a Malibu-based real estate agent, allows her to be vulnerable because he acts as an open book with his fears for her. In the 50-plus minute episode, Doherty also highlighted the idea of vulnerability as a form of strength. "Strength is in every tear that falls out of my eye," she said. Speaking on an episode of her Let's Be Clear podcast with oncologist Dr. Lawrence Pirro, Doherty discussed how she hopes new treatments will extend her life. "I always talk about the fact that we just need to squeeze out another 3 to 5 years, and then there's going to be T-cell therapy, or there's going to be this," she said on the podcast episode. "There's going to be a lot more options that will give another 5 years. Then in those 5 years, there's a whole other group of options, and eventually there's going to be a cure." Pirro noted how cancer treatment has evolved in recent years, saying there are many different chapters to living with cancer now. He continued, "I always say that it's important to think of each therapy as a horse. And in a horse race, you want to ride every horse as long as it rides, and then you ride the next horse as much as possible. You hope to make it a few laps, then there's altogether another new set of horses to ride, to make the race that much longer." Doherty says, "We are on a really good regimen now, and it's working well for me. So I just take things day by day, month by month, year by year." In February of 2020, after revealing her new diagnosis, Doherty had this to say. "I want to thank all of you for your love, prayers, and support," she wrote. "It's an odd time right now, and I find my feet not completely underneath me. To say I have stress is an understatement. To say that I'm struggling is mild." However, Doherty emphasized that she was hopeful for the future. "But I believe that I will find my footing. I'll dig deep for the inner truth. I'll dig deep for the inner strength I need to face it all. I pray I do it all with dignity and grace. I have so much to say, so much to share. I will. For now, please know how much you all help lift me," she wrote. Then, in March of 2020, Doherty chatted with her friend Sarah Michelle Gellar for an interview with Entertainment Tonight about her diagnosis. "I love it when people say, 'We're praying for you,' and everything else, but there comes a point when you're like, 'I got this. I'm fine. I'm good,'" Doherty said. "There are a lot of people in the world who could use prayers, and I'm feeling great. I'm doing okay. I'm doing better than okay. I'm doing well. I feel strong and healthy and confident and happy." The actor also emphasized that life is fragile for everyone, regardless of whether they have a scary diagnosis. The past decade has been filled with some major highs and lows for the 52-year-old, but she's never shied away from talking openly about her health and cancer. If there is anything anyone should take away from this woman, is that strength alone is something we all need to face the harshness that life can often bring us, and with faith and the fight to go on, there is nothing we can't do. Death and struggle come to all. It is only a matter of time in your life where you can find yourself struggling in some way, shape, or form. But if you look at it like Doherty and have the same grace she has, a belief and hope for a better and brighter tomorrow, then that is what you will have.